What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a theory I have about the Indigo Disk, and this is going to involve the legendary Pokemon Terapagos and the true secrets of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And of course, guys, like this type of content, enjoy these videos, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. Consider supporting the channel by joining the Pan Fam by hitting that join channel member button below. So let's begin with this Riddler Coup tweet. So he's talking about what is the type of Terapagos, and he says, as you can expect, regular type, and 19th type. So one, this confirms that Terapagos will be a dual type Pokemon, but also when it does Terra, it's gonna have the 19th type. We don't really know what the 19th type actually is yet. We have an official teaser from it, but we don't know what it actually does. And from that image, my guess is the 19 type will not be resisted or immune against anything. So essentially, you're going to be doing regular damage to every Pokemon, no matter what their ability or type combination is. And it's going to be like an Omni type, which would be really OP considering any Pokemon could have this 19 type. But back to Terapagos here. So we know it's going to be a dual type Pokemon. We know it has at least 2 battle forms. But looking at it in the anime, we know that this pendant right here is actually its dormant form. So essentially it's formed like in a Pokeball. I do wonder if we're going to see this form in the DLC. Currently, we know this is in the anime, so we'll have to see if that translates over. But it's regular form right here, and then the Terra form, which is the world turtle, has all of the 18 types on its back, and then one type in the middle, which is supposedly going to be the 19 type, and that's going to be its main type here. If I had to make a guess about what type Terapagos is going to be, I would actually hope it's going to be normal and rock type out of the 4 options here, because one, we have not seen a normal and rock type Pokemon yet. So that would be pretty cool. Makes a lot of sense. It is like a Terra crystal. So, you know, crystals are rocks. And normal sort of is like the Omni type. It's like sort of like a bootleg Omni type. Like Arceus has normal type as his default type. So that would make a lot of sense. I just don't see Dragon on this thing in any way, shape, or form. But who knows? Dragon could be here, but I don't personally see it. And Psychic, maybe. I mean, Psychic does have that potential to be one of the types here. But I am leaning on a normal and rock type. Let me know in the comment section below what type combo you think Terapagos is going to be. Now, we got this crazy image of Terapagos that was released, and we get a good back view of this turtle in its Terra form. And it looks very similar to an item that we would call a dreamcatcher. Now, when you look at it vertically like this, when it's hanging up, it looks like a dreamcatcher. It has all of these same like different like patterns in the middle here for the typings, so you can see the patterns translating over. And it also has the frills coming off, like the little tails on the Terapagos. That actually looks like the feathers on a dreamcatcher. Now, this pretty much says to me that the dream theory is going to be reality, and the finale of the story is going to reveal the true story of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And Riddler Coup was hinting at this for a very long time, even before the games came out, what the true plot was. And we didn't really see any of that in the main story or even in the Teal Mask DLC. But I was still a believer, and it looks like it's truly going to happen in this case. Now, we got some great dialogue from the game that does hint at that everything is a dream with Terapagos, that Terapagos made the professor's dreams come to reality, and that Paradox Pokemon are not Pokemon from the past or the future, but they're Pokemon that the professor wanted to see, and that's what they imagined in their head, and then their imagination became reality because of Terapagos. Now, this is what Sada says in Scarlet. Of course, Toro says something similar in Violet, but this is what Sada says when you talk to her. The original professor had a dream of a world in which ancient Pokemon might live alongside. That strength you gain to destroy the dream Sada once cherished. I will use the time machine to journey to the world of the ancient past that I have dreamed of. Notice that dream is in each one of these statements here. So it seems like when Sada or Turo went down into Area 0, they wanted to find either past Pokemon or future Pokemon. That was a goal that they already had in their head, and they wanted to use a time machine to make their dreams reality. Well, it seems like they used Terapagos, or somehow Terapagos what came into this area, that they were in Area 0, and made their dreams come true. And this was the dream they always wanted. I mean, they gave up everything. They gave up Arvin, they gave up their husband or wife or whatever the assistant was, and they even died for this dream at the end of the day. And then they had the AI double come in to try to complete the dream for them. So they were definitely obsessed. There was a lot of passion behind this dream, which says to me that Terapagos is the like the nucleus here. He is the point of everything in this story. We just haven't actually seen it in the game, but there's definitely been some hints to it as well. Now, Rillerku did tweet this out way before the game came out. I believe it was like July or August before the game came out in 2022. And this was actually a link to an anime trailer for the movie called King of Thorn. Now, this King of Thorn story is pretty much exactly the story of the Terapagos theory. So pretty much like it's a post-apocalyptic world, and this girl and all these other people go into like cryo state, and they wake up in the future, and pretty much all these monsters are running around, and at the end is actually discovered that this main girl, it was actually her dreams that became reality through the cryo state, and all the monsters that are destroying and killing everyone are actually the monsters that she made in her head. So there wasn't like a virus or anything. In this case, there wouldn't be any sort of paradox Pokemon that are actually real. They just came from the person's head. Now, if we apply this to the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet story, all the paradox Pokemon, from the box legendaries, from the version exclusives, to even Walking Wake and Iron Leaves, all these Pokemon don't truly exist. I mean, they're a paradox. They're Pokemon that should not actually exist, but they do exist. That's what a paradox is. Now, how would that actually occur? Well, maybe if they came from the professor's dream, that would make a lot of sense, because they don't make any sense. If you look at her dex entries, they pretty much have no content to them. There's like, oh, this like Pokemon looks like Jigglypuff. Oh, I read this magazine and it's like very similar to a Jigglypuff. Like, there's nothing of actual detail in the paradoxes, and the base game in the Teal Mask never really answers that. Now, if this was a dream state from Terapagos, like if these Pokemon came from Terapagos by using the professor's dreams, that would make a lot of sense on why, one, they look like they're from the past and they look like from the future. They're definitely thematic for sure. And it would also make sense why their dex entries don't have really any content to them, because no one else has really seen them outside of the professor for the most part, because no one else was really in Area Zero after the professor, and besides like us as the students coming in and try to save the day there. So that's why there's not a lot of content written on these. And there is supposedly going to be 3 more areas to Area Zero in the Indigo Disk DLC. So hopefully we're going to get some more information with the lore books there as well. Now, here's the other big thing about this theory, is in the finale fight against the AI professor, when the time machine opens up, and for pretty much, we know it's not truly a time machine, but when it opens up, you see a orb in the background hanging up. This orb looks like an egg hanging up from the ceiling here. And we know that this power is being induced here by the professor. He's floating up in the air. He's releasing the energy, and then he starts the battle with you. Well, we know from the Scarlet and Violet book, there is the egg page. And there is a turtle on top of the egg, as you can see. And then there's like a crown on the top. And this is like a huge orb. This is definitely the same orb that is hanging in the background right here. And just on top of the orb that we don't see is Terapagos. Maybe Terapagos is in like a dormant state here. Maybe because it's so out of frame, we just don't see it. But this is definitely the same egg that is being utilized here to summon the Paradox Pokemon and make the dreams come to reality for the professors as well. Now, another great point about this egg is it is literally hanging up in the ceiling, just like a dreamcatcher would be hanging up. So this time machine really is just the professor somehow got Terapagos, hung them up from the ceiling, and just used their power and was like, hey, I just want all of these past or future Pokemon becoming reality, and there you go. So that is pretty crazy stuff here that at this point, I believe this is truly going to be the story of the Indigo Disk DLC. Once we get through the academy and all that stuff and head back to Area Zero, those next 3 areas of Area Zero is going to give us a lot of confirmation on the true secrets here. And one last thing to bring up, this was from the trailer, And you can actually see like Nimona here. I believe we actually see Kieran's fist right over here. So we know we're coming back to Area 0 in the DLC from the story trailer. And Riddler Q says, what's beneath this place? Well, that is the door where we actually had the final battle. And this is where, you know, we have the egg hanging up. So pretty much to me, it seems like we're going to go back to where the final battle occurred. See what actually happened with the professor when they destroyed the place. Maybe they didn't actually destroy it, or maybe they destroyed the room and we can actually progress further into Area 0. And this is how we get to our next 3 rooms of the area. And to me, Terapagos is going to be at the very bottom of this area. I mean, it makes sense. He's the Terra Pokemon. There's Terra Crystals everywhere. It just makes perfect sense to me. But let me know in the comment section below if you like my theory on the story for the Indigo Disk and how important Terapagos is going to be. I would love to hear your thoughts below. And of course, guys, like this type of content, enjoy these videos. Please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out, and have a great one.